Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are new, my name is Brenda and I'm so happy to have you here today. And if you're returning, I appreciate you all so very much. So today I am hosting the Have a Heart collaboration with two wonderful ladies as my co-host. I'll let you know more about them and the collaboration in just a few minutes. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, for this DIY, I used this plaque that I got 50% off at Hobby Lobby. I used my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew, the color Lacquer, and then my antique wax. I was going to use these flowers, but I ended up not using them. I used something else instead. And then I used this rope that I got from Amazon, and it is in my Amazon store. So unfortunately, I didn't hit record or something, and I didn't show this, but what I did is I took each strip on that palette or that board and I painted them a different color. So the darkest is the antique wax, then the cashew, then the red, and then I did a light coating of that antique wax and wiped it off with a baby wipe. That way it got to be a little lighter brown. And then I just outlined a heart with my pencil and hot glued that braided rope around the heart that I traced out. So here I'm just showing that I was trying all different things. I didn't realize how big those flowers were, the first ones that I got from clearance at Hobby Lobby. And I was just like, I'm not liking the way this looks. It's not matching what I had in mind. So as you see, I'm just still playing around trying to figure out how I want to do this. And I thought, you know what, maybe my solo wood flowers would work better. So I'm still playing around thinking maybe I'll use it with the burlap flowers there, but I still didn't like it. So I just grabbed some more of my solo wood flowers and I decided I wanted one to be red. So I went ahead and took a little teeny paintbrush and I took my lacquer paint and I'm just painting one of those with that. Now you want to be really careful because these flowers are delicate. So when you brush it, if you do this, you want to be real gentle. So then I just grabbed another solo wood flower that was darker brown and I'm added that to the mix and I'm just going to hot glue them all along the top part of that heart, just like you see there. And I will have a link also to the solo wood flowers. They're amazing. If you've never tried them, I love using them and they're beautiful. So then I took this lace ribbon I got from Dollar Tree and I am just making just a simple shoelace bow. And I'm just going to angle the ends. I'm not dovetailing, I'm just angling. It's a little easier to do with the lace ribbon. Then I'm just going to hot glue it right underneath those flowers. And that is all there was for this. It is really easy, simple, but I just love the way it came out. I think it is so pretty. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, today's collaboration is Have a Heart, and I have the honor of hosting with these wonderful women, Amanda at 6 Kids and a Glue Gun and Chantel at Crafty Hints. Both these ladies are very talented, so make sure you check out their channels as well as their videos and the playlist. I will have links to all three in my description box. But if you haven't subscribed to them, make sure you show them some love and subscribe to them. They are just wonderful friends and I really love them both. So here's DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I took these hearts that I got from the Dollar Tree. I took some of these styrofoam balls. I think those were from the Dollar Tree as well, or Walmart, one or the other. These little planters I got from Dollar Tree. The dowels I got, I believe, from Dollar Tree. The moss from Dollar Tree. My Waverly chalk paint in the color white, antique wax, and lacquer. And then I also used cashew as well. And then I had these beads that I got for Christmas from my husband. And then I took off the wire that was the hangers there. They were really easy to twist off. And I thought, okay, I'm going to use my hot glue or my hot, what is that? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. My heat gun. There you go. And I normally can melt the glue and just scrape off the glitter, but I don't know what kind of glue they used on this one, guys, but it was not wanting to come off. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll try sanding it. And I'll try warming up the glue again, but it was a booger. So I just took it out to the garage and used my brand new oscillating tool that my husband got me for Christmas and sanded it off so that it would be smooth. Then I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew and I gave both of those hearts a good painting on the front and the back with that color. And I think I'm about due for a new Cashew because it's getting really thick. Then after that, I took these 2 little hearts I got from Amazon. I'll have them in my Amazon store. And I am painting them with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Lacquer. And I apologize if you hear Oliver barking in the background. So once those were dry, I just hot glued those little hearts right into the middle of the bigger hearts like you see me doing there. Then after that, I took this braided rope and I am just going to wrap it all around the little hearts as well as wrap it around the big heart as well. If you are liking what you see today and you have not subscribed yet, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button and become part of our little family here. I love to do farmhouse, but I also do other styles, but I love to do home decor on a budget as well as holiday decor, gift ideas, thrift flips, you name it. If you like all of those, I would just really hope you would be part of our family. I am getting really close to my 5,000 mark and I'm hoping to hit it before my anniversary date of my first DIY video, which was March 5th. So I would love to have you subscribe and share my video with people that you might know that might like this and maybe encourage them to subscribe and help me get to my goal by my anniversary. I would appreciate it. And if you like this video, please make sure you give me that thumbs up and let me know what was your favorite. That really does help my channel grow. So after I had that all done, I took my planters and I painted them with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and then I went over them with the antique wax. And after they were dry, I put the styrofoam balls inside and then just poked those dowels right inside the styrofoam, poked them all the way down. Then I filled it with some moss to help cover up that ball. And then I took my antique wax and I am just watering it down here because I didn't want it to be so dark. And then I'm going to take 8 beads. I actually do 16, but 8 per heart tree, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. But anyways, I took 8 at a time and I am just coating them with that antique wax. And then this is kind of messy. So you might want to make sure if you recreate this to have some covering for your table. But I just took each one out and wiped it with a baby wipe. Then once they were dry, I am just putting 8 on each dowel. And like you see there, and yes, it starts getting the dowel messy because the wax was still wet on the inside. But I also had painted some of these half beads that I had. So after I had the beads all strung on, I just went around and hot glued some of them around that small heart. Then I took some ribbon and just cut out some strips, and I am just making a messy bow, and I'm just layering them on top of each other the way I like it. I'm just taking some jute twine and I am just tying it really firmly around the middle and tying a knot, and then I am going to hot glue it to the front of that heart. Now once I got it hot glued, I realized I forgot to dovetail the ends, so I did go around and dovetail all the ends. Then after that, I took another one of those half beads and I just put it right in the middle of that bow. And then I just took some hot glue and glued it right along the back middle part of that heart. And if you see, I have some vinyl on the back side. That's my original intent, was to use that, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I decided to just keep it on the back. And then I took some more of that braided rope, and I just hot gluing a little bit of it to the top, and then I just wrap it around that planter about 4 times, and then I will hot glue it at the end piece to the planter there. And then after I get done hot gluing this, I'm just going to add another one of those little half beads, but this one is not, I did use my lighter to get some of the fuzzies away from that. You want to be really careful when you do that. Then I took that half bead that's not painted, and I just put it right in the middle of that, just to bring it some contrast there. And there it is. So you'll have to let me know what you think about these. I think they came out pretty cute. I had something else in mind and it didn't work out, so it was really hard for me to get into this because I just really struggled with this. But I think it did come out really cute. You have to let me know what you think. Okay, so here is the next DIY. And for this one, I took some jumbo popsicle sticks from Walmart, my vinyl from Dollar Tree, and this sign I got from Amanda Anything Goes earlier or before Christmas when we did our mystery box swap. So here I started off by just sanding that picture frame because it's not really wood, it's a really slick surface, so I wanted to be able to have the paint adhere to it better. So I sanded it, and then I painted it with my Lacquer color from Waverly chalk paint, and I did have to do 2 coats. So here I'm just measuring the size that I need those popsicle sticks. I cut down the ends on both ends, but really you only had to cut down one because I'm only going to use part of that stick. So here I'm just kind of measuring it and marking it and then cutting it out. And then once I had all of those cut out, and by the way, when you cut these, they do splinter really easy. So if you put some pressure right by where you're cutting, that helps keep it from splintering as bad. So then I just go through and I start hot gluing them onto the picture part of that frame. And after I get those all hot glued, the bottom piece was a little long, so I'm just measuring it, marking it, and then I cut it. And I had a hard time cutting it because it was splintering, but and it did kind of cut a little crooked, but that's okay because the frame covers it. Thank goodness. So then I'm just gonna hot glue that right on, and after that I am going to take my vinyl, and I traced out a heart, as you see there on it, and then I just cut that vinyl piece out. And then after that was cut out, I am going to put it right on the middle of my little board there that I made. And I just trying to make sure it was sealed very good. Then I took my antique wax and I am just going to brush it on all over the board. And it did bleed a little bit, so it'd probably be better to try not to get the edges as much like I did. But that's okay. It still looks good. Then I just took a baby wipe and I wiped up all the excess, and look at how pretty that looks. Then I took my little weeding tool and pulled up that transfer paper. No, not transfer, vinyl. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here I'm just checking to make sure it's going to look good. And I got it inside the frame, and then I made another bow with that beautiful lace ribbon from Dollar Tree. And I am just going to cut it and hot glue it right there at the bottom of that heart. And this is really simple, guys, and I'll explain here in a minute why I did this one. So after I hot glued that on, I just took some more of that braided rope and I just went around the middle of that frame just to give it a little extra something. And that's all I did on this one. It's a table runner or setter. You can hang it because it does have a hanger on the back. And I did actually paint the back of it too, so you couldn't see the green. But I'm probably going to use this as a shelf setter instead. So you have to let me know what you think about this one. Super easy and just really cute. Okay, for DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I used some of these jumbo popsicle sticks. I was going to use this vinyl. I ended up not using it. And then these hearts from Amazon and this beautiful red tray I absolutely love from Dollar Tree, and my antique wax. So the last project I did, I was actually going to do for this one, but I ended up messing up. So here I'm just kind of like I did on the last project. I'm cutting the ends off of these craft sticks, measuring them to the piece that I had already cut, and which I think they are about 4 inches. And for this one, I was able to get 2 cuts out of 1 popsicle stick or craft stick. So once I had them all cut out, I lined them up, and I used my square ruler there to make sure they were all straight. And then I used another craft stick to adhere them on the back. And then I used another smaller piece because it didn't reach all the way to the bottom. After that, I took my antique wax and I went and I brushed this wax all over the front of my craft sticks there. Then I used a baby wipe and I wiped it all off, and it looks beautiful. Yeah, looks great. And I did some more waxing all over, and then I'm going to wipe it again with my baby wipe until I have the whole front part all done. And I thought, oh, it's beautiful. It's going to look great. And I go and I lay it in, and then I realize, oh man, I forgot to put the heart on there. You see me thinking, I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do? Can I take it apart and paint the back? Nope, that's not going to work. So had to go with a second plan. So I took my Waverly paint in the color Cashew, and I paint each one of those hearts with that Cashew color. So this is why I did that last project, because I really wanted to do that. I was so excited about it, and I thought it was going to be so cute with this tray. And I was so disappointed that it didn't work out, that I wanted to do it a different way. So then I took this extra fine tip Sharpie in the color red, and I'm just going around the heart. I did this on the big heart and the little hearts and just made little stitch lines. And then after that, I took my hot glue and I just put it all along the tray part. And then I'm going to stick those craft sticks right inside. And then I laid the hearts out the way I wanted them, and I am just going to hot glue them in place. After that, I took some of that braided rope and I hot glued that around the trim because those popsicle or craft sticks weren't completely even. So of course I wanted to cover that up. Then I took this really fine jute twine. I think this came with some of my wood ornaments that I got. And I tied a little knot on the end, and then I hot glued it right below each one of those little hearts. Then I took all those 3 strings there, and I am going to tie them together with a knot at the end to where the knot just touches the very top of that big heart. And I could have probably covered up those little holes on the hearts. That's for hanging the ornaments, but they're little hearts, and I thought they were really cute, and I didn't want to cut them, so I left them the way they were. I did outline them actually with that red marker, just kind of went around them. Then after that, I took some more twine and made some little bows and put one on the big one and put a bow on, I think I put one on all of them, actually, yeah. Then I made a little string and put it on the big, on the bottom of the big heart too, so it kind of looks like a balloon as well. Then I took some of this ribbon. I think I got this from Dollar Tree last year, or maybe Walmart. I don't know. I got it last year around Valentine's Day. And I made a bow by making the awareness ribbon and scrunching it up in the middle. And then I'm using some jute twine or jute rope to go around the middle. And instead of tying it in a knot in the back, I decided to be different this time and tie it in the front. So then I just hot glue it right to the top there and dovetailed the ends. And I took some more of that braided rope, tied some knots in it, hot glued it to the bottom, took a little bit of that ribbon, and I am just hot gluing it over. That just kind of gives it some extra support. And there it is. And I think it came out pretty cute. Not what I had planned or intended, but I still really love it. I love that color tray. Purple's my favorite color, but red is like right up there, almost tied with it. So I just love that color. So you'll let me know what you think about this, and yeah, if you think you might recreate it. So here is a final review of the last 4 projects. I absolutely love them all. When I put them all together, I just thought, wow, they look great together. So you have to let me know what you think about that. And again, guys, make sure you give me that thumbs up and comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, become part of our family, hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when I upload a video, which is usually on Wednesdays, and maybe some other days when I'm participating in a collaboration like today. So I will be back on Sunday with another video. So until then, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.